Hi, everybody. My name is Dan O'Brien, and I'm the Executive Director at YMCA Camp Northern Lights.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sal, and I am the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Coordinator at Camp Northern Lights as well.
And Sal and I are excited to share with you kind of a video tutorial about all things STEPS for summer 2023. Before we go any further, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about kind of the history behind STEPS registration, where we've come from and where we're going. So the first 2 years of STEPS, when we launched the STEPS process, the process to attend a STEPS session at Camp Northern Lights was as simple as going online, filling out what we called an intent to attend form, which was kind of just contact information, preferred session dates, preferred cabin size. And then a staff member would reach out to that person and connect them to what they needed. Because of demand and popularity of STEPS, we have now significant number of folks on the waiting list, and we want to make sure that the process is equitable. And so this year we're going to be moving to a STEPS lottery system, which we think will be a lot more of an equitable process. We'll be talking more about that later and the details of it all, but I'll pass it back to Sal.
Great. Thanks so much, Dan. So yeah, just a kind of a quick rundown of kind of what this video is going to be about. First, we're going to kind of give some advice to some of our returning STEPS families about how the registration will go for them this year. Then we'll talk about some key dates, things to be aware of coming up here the next few weeks and months. We'll talk about how to register for the STEPS lottery and for the lottery in general, and then a little bit about what to expect during the actual lottery itself. So with that, we're kind of going to start with our advice to returning families. So we are encouraging families who have participated in a STEP session before to register for the General Family Camp Lottery. And so through the General Family Camp Lottery, you can still have the opportunity to be part of a STEP session, just not through a designated STEPS space. So the process is a little bit different. The lottery is at a different time, and the payment process is a little different. When you register through the General Lottery, you make a 10% deposit on your cabin or site, and there is not any tiered pricing available.
That's perfect, Sal. One thing to know for those families who are interested in going through the General Family Camp Lottery, realizing they can still see when those 4 STEP sessions are, they still think that's important to them. They decide to go the route of General Family Camp Lottery. And the tiered pricing is a key part of, we know that, a key part of the STEPS program. We also offer scholarships for all families, and the scholarship process is something we want to be able to help with as much as possible. And I'm going to share my screen really quickly to show how to navigate through that, and we'll go from there. So when you are on the home page here for Camp Northern Lights, you simply click right here at scholarships. There's a lot of ways to get to it, but if you're on the home landing page of Camp Northern Lights, you click scholarships right here, and then you would click this green button here that says complete the initial scholarship application form. Please know that all of this text right here is really relevant to kind of the nuances of the process. We know it can be a little bit tedious and cumbersome for some families, but please know that you can reach out to myself, Sal, Isaac Patterson, our summer program director, and always just send any of us an email saying, hey, I didn't get this, the scholarship I was hoping for, and we will work with every family to the best of our ability to make sure that you can come to camp at a rate that's reasonable for your family. If you choose a STEP session or not, we want to make sure it's for all. So please know that, and we're just going to navigate back to the home page. I'll stop sharing my screen. And the other thing we wanted you to know is that I want to be incredibly transparent that we expect that more people will enter the STEPS lottery than we have spaces. We're going to have close to about 50 STEPS spots for families this summer, and we anticipate probably over 100 STEPS registrants for the lottery. So if you do the math, that means there are going to be some families that don't get a spot. So we just want to be incredibly transparent. I'll pass it back to you, Sal.
Great. Thanks, Dan. So next, we're going to talk about some key dates coming up. And the first date is today. So today, our STEPS webpage is up to date. So I'm going to share my screen here and show you how to get to that. So here's the Camp Northern Lights general webpage. You can go to summer and then scroll down and then taking steps here on the left. So here at the steps webpage, you can find details on registration, dates for the registration, dates for step sessions, details on tiered pricing, the cabins available, kind of all relevant information in relation to steps. So as of today, all that is up to date. So feel free to check that out for more information. Yeah, so the next date we have is November 25th, and that's when our leadership development program application is due. So this year, again, we're having a partnership between STEPS and our leadership development program to create community for BIPOC teens entering grades 9 through 12 up at camp. So please have your teens apply for that before November 25th. Also, our registration for the General Family Camp Lottery is open until November 30th. So that's also one that's kind of coming up here. Next, we have registration for the STEPS Lottery. So that won't be open until January 2nd of 2023, and it'll be open until the 27th. And so after that, the STEPS Lottery will actually take place in February, on February 22nd and 23rd. It'll be a 2-day lottery.
Perfect. Thank you, Sal. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about what lottery registration will look like. Obviously, the dates that Sal mentioned, the STEPS lottery isn't until 2023. So there's time between you now watching this, seeing the webpage, but I'm going to walk through the process of what it actually will look like to register for the lottery. And what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to register for the General Family Camp Lottery right now, which has a little bit of nuance compared to the STEPS lottery, but it'll be a very similar process, and I can kind of highlight those details. So it's really great if you decide for those returning families to really watch this and understand how you as a family can register for the lottery now for the General Family Camp Lottery, and then it'll be very similar for the STEPS lottery down the line here. So I will share my screen again, and we'll go back here. So you're on the home page right here, and the first thing you want to do is click on summer. This will probably be very similar for the Taking Steps one. You may click Taking Steps to get to the lottery registration. You might be able to click on summer, more to come on that, but it'll say lottery registration. There'll be a button right here. You'll click on that and it will take you, not to this page, but it will take you to this page, a page just like this. And this is going to have information about lottery registration process, new dates. These are obviously the dates for the General Family Camp Lottery, but there'll be a unique page for Taking Steps Lottery. The one thing to know is this part on groups won't apply to STEPS. It applies uniquely to the Family Camp General Lottery for kind of on behalf of the Northern Lights, but not for STEPS. But kind of some key things to know there. You'll hit register. It will take you to your login page. You're going to hit login, or you can always go down here if you have any trouble logging in, and the customer service center can help you out. But we'll log in. This is key. Under primary contact, really see this note here. It says, please select one person to register for your household. Let's pretend myself, my spouse, my 3 kids, they would all be listed here. This is what most people's accounts would look like for those that have families. You don't want to click on everyone because this is you just registering on behalf of your family for the lottery, who that key adult is registering on behalf of your family. So I'm going to pretend like I had, family of 4 down here, but I just want to select myself. I want to go next. And I want to work through the lottery flow here. So are you new to the lottery? This question will most likely say, are you new to the STEPS program? And you can select yes or no. Please enter the email address that you would like lottery information to be sent to. This is very key to enter the email address who's going to be responsible for payment, pre-camp communications, all that good stuff. So pick an email that you do check quite frequently. These questions below here are related to grouping, which you don't need to worry about. So pretend those don't exist. If you want to learn more about grouping, there's another video tutorial on the homepage of Camp Northern Lights, kind of family camp page. But ignore this. And so you would click on next. Oh wait, I have to do something, don't I? So let's do, we'll pretend I'm new to STEPS, let's say. I'm going to enter my email. I'm not going to do this. And I need to say I'm not part of a group because we don't have groups for steps. It will take you to essentially the checkout page, and you might be like, wait, I didn't do it right. It says $0 because it's free. Again, it's just a free process. That's just the way it works for steps and for the General Family Camp Lottery. And you'll hit checkout, and that will be the end of the process. You'll get a confirmation email saying thank you for registering for the lottery, and then future, obviously, communication will come out. So we'll do that. And we'll stop sharing. Sal, I think we're back to you.
So that's kind of the registration for the steps lottery itself, or the general lottery. And then so kind of once you've registered, what'll happen is you'll be randomly assigned to a registration wave. And so the steps lottery will have 2 waves, 1 wave per day, February 22nd and the 23rd. And so your wave assignment will be sent out the week before the lottery takes place. And then on the date of your wave, you'll be sent a link in your email at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that will be your link to register for a cabin. And so you'll register online using that link.
That's perfect. If you have any other questions, myself, Sal, Isaac Patterson are all fantastic people to reach out to. Please know that Taking Steps homepage that Sal mentioned before is a great resource. A newsletter will be going out shortly, and the video tutorial that we made now, along with the General Family Camp Lottery one, are all great resources. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Sal, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone.